Clash Royale.
Deep in not only the tournament, but he's on set number 6. However, with that last win, that means that this is game point for Dark. If he loses this, Classic will advance to the grand finals for the second time in his career.
Both of these players looking pretty good right now, but Classic proving to be just a bit better at this point. We're going to be jumping into Frost here for game number 6. Go out and tell your friends to join the stream for some of the best StarCraft, if not the best StarCraft, that we have had in quite a while. Let's jump into game number 6 now on Frost. Here we are on Frost, one of our bigger 4-player maps in the pool for set number 6. And up in the top right, the Zerg player, he needs to win 2 in a row to advance. It is Dark.
I believe it is the biggest 4-player map in the pool, at least at my recollection. Let's see what fans have to say. It says, it's okay, Dark, you can start winning from here on out. So, always nice to know.
Nice. And this is Classic down on the bottom right. Says big picture, Classic big picture, and then Daybok, which is kind of like awesome, or something like that.
Okay. Well, it certainly is awesome that we get the chance to watch this spectacle and behold the greatness that is or are these 2 players here tonight. This is like a modern-day Coliseum. 2 nerds enter, 1 nerd leaves. Of course, with another probe out on the map, a little bit mistaken in his pathing, will not be able to scout Dark quite as early as he would have wanted.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate here, but he will eventually get the scout. Dark not doing anything too crazy for now, just goes for a hatch first into a pool with gas. Very, very standard. No mix-up here from Dark. And that's what you would expect on a map like this. You just want to get that economy going, get that hatch out.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised we don't see like a third like super early for Dark, just because he has traditionally gone for that, especially with as big a map as this is. See what he has to see. It also just kind of baffles me, like just from having seen Myungshik's games yesterday and then Classic's games today. Like if this were Myungshik, there'd be pylons like all over Dark space by now. But yeah. Classic has shown that he doesn't play like that super early cheesy kind of style, but he does know when to hit that gateway explosion button, make a bunch of adepts, and just go straight up kill Dark. And it's worked so well so far. I just want to see what Dark adapts to deal with it.
Here we go again. Very early Twilight Council, the bane of any other race that's not Protoss, and even Protoss players at this point. Lots of adepts in PvP.
Right, or Zerg, and then the bane of your race rolls around and explodes.
And this Zergling is actually going to get in and get a nice scout here.
Shh, it's actually a probe. But it does look like the Adept can at least see through his clever disguise and crush his Zergling head between the Adept thighs. Rhymes.
Kind of, yeah.
It's also
with his glaive, or whatever that ball of energy is that he shoots out there.
I was just quoting the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny, but either way, we'll exactly get that scout of the entire Classic base and see everything that there is to see, except for the Dark Shrine, except for that one thing that is actually very important, and this will be very early DTs. Let's see how Classic, what Classic does with this, and if Dark can hold on.
Gonna show a gate over here to the Overlord. I'm surprised that Dark is not getting an Overlord in position. Actually, it looks like he is, but still... Oh wait, no, he does have the Overlord speed, and seeing this many Adepts and no Stalker is kind of interesting because you do want to hide your tech. I think this Overlord is just gonna float on through.
I mean, there's nothing that shoots up right now other than overcharged pylons, and oh man, here he goes. Yep, those are some buildings, Valdez.
Yeah, it's immediately clicks it. He's like, oh, okay.
The entirety of his tech is right there in that one area. And the pylon is actually very close to the ram, so maybe if Dark makes a few roaches later on, you can just snipe that pylon. Everything goes unpowered, unfortunately enough. But here comes the prison, here comes the DTs, and we're about to... There's literally an Overlord just like right on top of it. It's like,
Classic doesn't seem to be bothered by this. He's had a lot of success so far, just going for 4 DTs and sniping a bunch of stuff.
He's got the Overlord
like
on patrol.
Rock towers?
Right ahead of it. But yeah, those snipes on those rock towers were actually so sick. And there's still a very similar construction here on Frost. Now here comes the Banelings. They've been morphed, they've been picked up in this drop Overlord, and they're moving into Classic space. At the same time, DT drop is coming in for Dark.
Oh no, there's only 1 Spore here. And if you go for 4 DTs, you can easily snipe the Spore. He's not even going for it, he's just going for the damage.
Well, there's not even that much there, but actually, I guess he's just committing to that. But here come the Banelings. They're not being microed again. So many probes going down. It's 11 workers dying instantly.
At the same time, there was some DT harass going on, but that harass from Dark was a lot better. Cuts down, that's about a 1/4 of the economy here from Classic, so that's really, really going to hurt him here. Going to morph these DTs into 2 Archons and then warp in more DTs. Okay.
Gonna go for Archon drops in the back with DTs to pressure and keep this creep from expanding in the front. Or possibly even get a hold of that 3rd base off to the side. Here come the Archon drops in, and this actually should be decent enough. Archons will actually just kill Queens so quickly. But with Roaches and the rest of the Zerg army moving in, that should be enough. But oh man, like you said, just sniping these Spore Crawlers.
There is 1 Overseer. And in fact, Classic going to play it safe. Not sure where that Overseer is, but this Archon drop is actually getting a ton of damage done. Just fighting up against the Queens. The Roaches going to start hitting on some of those drones. Gets 8 drone kills in total.
Yeah, harassment not actually appropriate. If the Archons don't want you to hit on them with your Zerglings, then definitely don't do that, guys. Unless you're Classic and you're a monster and you just want to kill Dark, and he definitely does. Very successful harass. Able to make that happen. But now Roach Speed coming out there, the Glial Reconstitution. And it looks like for now this is the tech that Dark is going to sit on.
And kind of an interesting build here from Classic as well, where he didn't get Glaives, which is a very common follow-up. Okay, there it is. But he did go for the Robotics Bay first. So I guess it's going to be Disruptors. I mean, there's a small chance that it's Colossi. I want to wait and see. He's made some Immortals. He's made 2 Immortals. And still nothing being done with that Robotics Bay. Okay, it's going to be Disruptors.
Okay, so Disruptors are the tech. Now, there are still a few annoying Dark Templar out there, but they're not out on the map. They're back home. So it'll be interesting to see what the next move is for Dark. Traditionally, the weakness is not having enough units when it comes time for these big pushes, but we haven't seen that huge gateway explosion that we saw later on. But oh, now trying to micro these the Archons in order to kill this Overlord. 1 more hit, and it does go down.
Just before the Disruptor pops out too, that's really important. Dark is not going to know that there are Disruptors on the map. And just denying that amount of scouting is so important. You can see Dark, he wants to go for another scout with a very weak Overlord. And this is still doing a ton of damage. This is so funny.
Oh, so close. It's like between an Abyss and 2 Archons. between an Archon and another Archon. Between 2 Archons, that's the name of my StarCraft talk show. There you go. I get to dress up in an Overlord suit and look super sexy. Depends on, of course, what your preferences are. Don't Overlord shame me, guys. But here comes this Disruptor, or these Disruptors rather, out along with the rest of the Protoss army. See if this push for Classic is something that will get scouted, and it will.
Okay, I think he 100% saw that, even though he wasn't on attack move there.
This runs the circling right through. It's like there's a ceasefire. They parlayed with each other. Although now the push is out here on the map, and we'll see whether or not this is something that Dark can deal with. He does actually preemptively kill those rocks, so no more shenanigans cutting off his army.
So many Banelings being morphed right now. It's going up to a really, really high number, but is that going to be good against 3 Archons? It's going to be good if he makes the connections on the Adepts. Let's see if he can do it.
Oh man, big disruption. Orb is coming out, and with these Banelings rolling forward, will they be able to connect where they need to? Good connections, but not great, and those Adepts survive in the back.
That they do. Here comes the A Purification Orb coming out once again. The Baneling's rolling in. They're off creep.
Man, and they will actually pick off one of those great connections, and Dark's going to run over Classic.
He's going to be able to do it. He's going to stop the push.
And there might not be enough Protoss back in the back for Classic to stabilize. A big push out here with Baneling's speed completed, and not even those Immortals may escape alive. They're going to go down there in the back. Even Baneling's being used to kill them. Now, in the meantime, there is a decent amount of Adept harass going on, but not enough to make this worthwhile. Classic stabilizes, but Dark holds on.
Very, very nice hold there.
Not sure where that disruptor is going, but
ooh.
I guess, kill one disruptor, get one disruptor free.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. And Dark is actually gearing up for a big attack now. More and more Banelings being morphed up here.
And those are Changeling Zealots up there, guys. Don't worry if they've defected or not. Here comes the big Zerg push. Lots and lots of disruptor, or one disruptor. Will it be enough? Oh my God, she dies right at the last second. Oh my gosh, it's not going to kill any of those Ravagers, but it will kill my vocal cords. Will Dark be able to hang on, keep this push going, or will Classic be able to defend? He's just got all of those Ravagers all over everything, and with these Warpins coming in from Classic, this is one of the last chances he has to hold his base.
Oh, the Disruptor shot coming out. It gets one Ravager. Classic hanging on by the skin of his teeth right now. That one Immortal doing so much work. Now being micro forward, actually. That has 18 kills right now on that one Immortal.
Oh my God, just hero units here holding out for Classic. But can he do it? Of course, the title of the article at the beginning, I mentioned it was the time is a flat circle. So theoretically, everything, history kind of repeats itself over and over again. Well, Dark certainly wants that to be true because he was the one to advance to the finals the last time these guys faced off. This time, can Classic, who is actually up one game, change the tides?
I can't believe he I can't believe he actually holds on here. And the Disruptors, they're going to have to do some work because he doesn't have all that much support for them. He only has one Immortal and 19 Adepts. But the amount of Banelings that Dark has been making really just counters that Adept kind of, composition here. I would love to see a bunch of Archons being added into the mix. I know it's very expensive with the Dark Shrine, and that he can't really afford getting a Templar Archives, but that would be basically the perfect unit right now against what Dark is making.
All right, Baneling's rolling in right on top of that Disruptor. Can they kill it off in time? It survives somehow and does get away. So more orbs coming forward. But it looks like Classic might be pinned up against the wall. Lots of Banelings rolling in with that speed. Oh my God, that orb almost has killed Classic's whole army. But there's so much damage being done as these Banelings continue to roll in. Adepts disappearing, and another great hold from Dark.
Fantastic hold. Classic kind of messing up with the spiker there right at the end. That would have been insane if Classic just blew up his entire army. Thankfully for Classic, it did not happen. But then again, Dark holds on, but he still can't kill Classic here. At least he is keeping Classic on 3 bases, while he does have 4 of his own. Has gotten his economy up to 64 drones. He was a little bit lower before that last push.
At this point, Classic is like that, standoffish girlfriend with a, huge bubble around her. She doesn't want Dark to hold her. And at this point, Dark's doing a great job of hanging on for dear life, but now it's Classic that's going to have to hang on for his own. No, Zealots, you are not going to be able to get into anything. You aren't back Zerg units. And speaking of those, they are going to start to roll in. Banelings ahead of time, Purification orbs out there, but it's just not enough. And even nothing to stop these Banelings, although some nice orbs do hit there towards the back. Lots and lots of Ravagers. The Classic's holds have been just as good. Will they be good enough? Needing to pull back there from those vials coming down there, but so much Zerg in here for Dark.
The Banelings rolling through once again. They're trying to get the hits on the Disruptors here. One nice Purification Orb coming through. Look at this, one DT at the same time getting a ton of damage done. Can Classic hold on? It looks like maybe just barely here in this game.
These Disruptors going down there, just walking into Zerg, but it looks like there's just enough at depth, and then finally that hero Immortal dies. In the meantime, the harassment in dark space with those DTs will get cleared up, but his army is going to die.
His army does die. The one thing I'm kind of worried about here for Classic is that he still has no other base. He's running out of mining at his natural.
Yeah, Dark hasn't expanded either, so both of these players just non-stop fighting without even enough time to expand.
That's what happens on this map at these positions when you get Dark in the game especially. And has, you know, with how aggressive Classic has been with his mid-game pushes, it's been really, really crazy. You actually grabbed my mouse to see what was building down on the bottom left, but it's actually a Nexus here that's being hidden by Classic all the way down there.
There's a hidden Nexus. By the way, the probe that built that Nexus has 1 HP. So he was a hero probe if ever there were one. And of course, it's right by it, that robotics support bay that was proxied earlier. Well, not proxied, it was just like built way out on the map. So secret base coming in here for Classic. Is that the ticket to survival? Okay.
Oh, really good hits once again.
Rolling these banelings in for free, I don't know. Something tells me there's a better way of doing that, but still great harassment, keeping the pressure on, and another big push here for Dark.
Let's see if he can finally kill Classic here. That is basically his army. And
I think even if he just drops Ravager hits on that Nexus non-stop, that'd be a way to do it. But here come the Purification Orb. Will the Disruptors go down? And they will! They're in the front lines, and this time with Dark rolling in, there's just too much for Classic to deal with. GG!
There you go. Dark brings it to game number 7. It's going all the way, guys. We're going to Galactic Process here. Classic cannot believe it. He was holding on for so long. And now we're going the distance. Exactly what we expected. Either one of these players could win at this point.
I mean, at this point, Dark is like Rose, and Jack's holding on, and Dark's just like, I will never let go. He's going to keep holding on.
Never going to let go of his hopes of making it into the finals once again. Wouldn't that be a crazy story if he just barely wins, comes back and wins 2 in a row? Classic, though, a fantastic player. I can't believe he held on for so long. You could feel the frustration, too, when he's like holding his head in his hands, because he was having a lot of trouble, actually, with his control in that game.
Right.
Many different times. The first push, no splits, huge baneling hits off creep, even. You know, he could have pre-split it. He could have prepared a bit. A lot of his attacks, you know, he almost killed his entire army with disruptor balls. That actually happened once.
It's going the wrong way. But
yeah, it's...
his control there in the end was eventually what cost him. Those disruptors continually getting, you know, micro towards the front of his army while the rest of his army is pulling backwards. Just a difficult situation. To Classic's credit, he did hold on for about as long as he possibly could. But this is the game that decides it all. A newer map, the last game between both of these players, we've seen a wide gamut of strategies. Dark with some weaknesses against holding those early gateway explosion pushes, whereas Classic has had weaknesses just holding it all when Dark is the one putting on the pressure. But without any commercial break, guys, we are not going to let the action let up as we get into our final game here of the night.
It all comes down to this. It's not the first time I've said that, but we're going to game 7, guys. For some reason, round of 4 in SSL is always so epic. Remember a crazy series we had between Life and Dream as well down here. And now we're getting another one between these two teammates, Dark and Classic. And it's going to be on one of these newer maps, as you were saying. Maybe we see another crazy build.